Good afternoon students. Welcome to my video class. This is the first video of my history class. This history is for arts section. I am making this video for standard 11 chapter 2. This is the first part of my video. The name of the chapter is Writing and City Life. Now this chapter, Writing and City Life, deals with the historic importance of Mesopotamia. Now, Mesopotamia presently lies in Iraq. Mesopotamian civilization was known as one of the advanced civilization of those times. Some historians claim that this Mesopotamian civilization was there from around 8000 BC. Now the documentary studies and in the global archives, the record from around 7000 BC is there. Now it is believed that in Mesopotamia, the civilization was very advanced. Now the civilization started with different type of work of art. There was art through which different events were designed. Different events were drawn on the caves, on the rocks. So we also find this type of examples in our country also, especially if we all go to the place in Madhya Pradesh, that is Bhimbetka. So in Mesopotamia, this type of drawings, arts give us a clear picture of all the incidences that took place. It tells us about the civilization that was there at that particular age. Now here, the Mesopotamian civilization, it was believed by the historians and various archaeological surveys and analysis. A conclusion was made that the Mesopotamian people, they already led a civilized life. Now how a civilized life began? Now as we already know that the people generally, they were either cave dwellers and they were hunter gatherers. They were cave dwellers and they were the hunter gatherers. They used to hunt wild animals and they used to consume them. Now as the civilization proceeded, they don't know how to lit fire or they don't know the art of cooking. Now as the civilization developed, as art progressed, we find the work of art in various sculptures and all. We get the proof of civilizations. Now as the art progressed, it give us a vivid picture of the civilization, that the people were civilized. That is why the art progressed. It cannot progress on its own. People used to make different type of hunting tools. Not a particular shape, it was of different shape. Some big, some small, some medium, some different shape. So this gives us an idea that the people already started to lead a civilized life. Now as in the online classes we have already discussed that how the civilization started, how people became civilized. How from the hunter-gatherers the people started to do the agriculture. Now that was very simple. The people believed that the human settlements can only be done beside the river banks. So there is a scientific study on this matter. There is a scientific proof. The reason is that the soil beside the river bank is usually fertile. And it is a very ideal place for the people to make human settlements over there. And they used to start agriculture. Agriculture began in Mesopotamia from the year 7000 BCE. BCE, the full form of BCE is before the Common Era. I repeat, the full form of BCE is before the Common Era. Okay, so that was even before the birth of Jesus Christ. So this 7000 BCE, agriculture was already started in Mesopotamia. And people already started to lead a civilized life. And as the time progressed, now, one more thing, how they used to get, what helped them to carry out the agriculture. Now, for that we have to understand the geographical location of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia generally lies in Iraq, present day Iraq. Now, two rivers. Mesopotamia lies somewhere over here, Mesopotamia, M. One is Euphrates and another river is Tigris. So the Mesopotamia lies somewhere between the Euphrates and the Tigris, and it got a good chance to get the fertile soil in both the banks. So this gave an added advantage to the people to start a settlement over there. Settlement means what? Settlement means village. Settlement means human settlement. People started to make a social settlement over there. This was the beginning of a community. This was the beginning of a city life. This was the beginning of human settlements. This was the beginning of markets, trade, everything. Where there is settlement, there is a market, and where there is a settlement and market, there is trade. So this is the factor. So where there is settlement, there is a market. And where there is market, there is trade. Trade and business. It become a source of earning for the people. Through agriculture, the people started to lead a civilized life. Besides that, the people started to keep the animals with them, the domestic animals, the cattle. And they used to feed on the steppes, the grasses. So this way they started to maintain a domestic life. And this gives us a vivid example. This gives us a very transparent picture that the people, even on that time, they became civilized. It was a civilization. At that time, what people thought about civilization is a good example before us. Now, there was not only settlement, besides settlement, there was trade, there was art, there was literature, there was writing. The writing brought literature. Writing brought literature. Literature. Literature of what? Literature of different social events. People used to do worships, religious worships were given, which the proof was there is there in the art form with various symbols, arts. If the archaeologists used to decode those symbols and they used to come to a conclusion. So these are very important things. Now, Mesopotamia was ruled, was actually captured. So on that time the kingdom was generally, it was not like the kingdom of this thrones or something like that. It was a matter of, you can say, a community. A community ruled a community. One community existed, the other came, they used to take the place, the next used to come, they used to take them. So it was not like a king or a, means you cannot say it's an empire. There was no such thing was there. There was no political thing or political governance was there, nothing was there. So it was a type of barbaric living. The people used to take away each other's settlement. So this way the age used to pass, and this way the various ages used to come, the various communities used to come to Mesopotamia and they used to continue the living. Around 2000 BC, the Syria and Turkey, this Mesopotamia came under Syria and Turkey. So this type of settlement started to become. Next came the Babylonia. Then it was captured by the communities, and in 1100 BC it became Assyria. And later on, around 350 to 370 or 80s, the Alexander the Great, the famous ruler of Macedonia, Greece, he used to come and they used to capture those areas. He used to control those areas. So it had its own timeline of history. How this Mesopotamia continues to accept the communities that came each after the other, and they used to portray, they used to keep their own lifestyle. When one community came, they used to impose their lifestyle on the others. And this way the civilization and the lifestyle of the people were affected. Now, coming back to the art part. Art, literature, both became very famous. The people used to carry out the writing on soft clays. It's a rectangular shaped clay was put and people used to write on that. This was known as tablets. Tablets, what people used to study. So this was the development of art, literature and civilized living. So this was from part 1. I will continue with part 2 in the next video. Till then, stay home and stay safe.